Hey everyone, it's Joe. Sunday the 2nd of April, and a lovely warm spring afternoon here in London, UK. So it's been a while since I've given you guys an update on my garden, and that's mainly because we've had some really crappy weather, lots of rain at the start of this year, really cold, and last year, December, it was just freezing. We had temperatures down to -8. And that did a number on a couple of my in-ground citrus trees, which I'll show you later. So we've got some positives and we've got some negatives. So I think I'll start with the negatives. We'll move over to my potted lemon tree. This is an unknown variety. And as you can see, all those branches are dead. And that's due to the freezing temperatures. Even though I covered it with a frost blanket, it's just way too cold. So all of this is dead. Down below, it looks to be green over here, as you can see. So I'll probably maybe I'll graft the finger lime on here. We'll see. But that's the lemon. That's a real shame. And then over here is my finger lime. So you can see all the branches are gone. They all died back. But this main trunk is still alive. And you can see we've got one shoot here just remaining. So yeah, a big shame to lose all the branches, but at least the tree's alive, and that will come back in the spring. Well, it is spring now, so it will come back as the weather continues to warm up. Over here is a new tree, and this is a Satsuma, which is replacing the one that I've lost in the ground, which I'll show you. So this is a Satsuma Citrus Anushui, I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is a nice little specimen here, looks really healthy. I think I'll cut back this branch here. This looks to be coming from the rootstock. And you can see here, this is the graft. This is the scion, so this is the Satsuma, and this is the rootstock here. So that's the new Satsuma there. Over here is a new finger lime tree, which I'm really impressed with. I got this at a really cheap price, to be honest. But a lovely specimen here, really healthy, and it's got some nice thick branches there. So hopefully we'll get some fruit from this particular finger lime. And you can actually see, as we go a bit closer, that it's definitely grafted. You can see the grafting tape here has still remained on the tree, which is quite funny. So this is a finger lime, beautiful tree, nice and bushy, but very thorny, so you've got to be careful with the spikes there. Over here we have my seedling cherimoya trees. So I've brought them out into the sun. They've been indoors over the winter, but these were grown from seed. This one's a little bit smaller, and they are doing really well, nice and healthy. Lovely green leaves. So that's my cherimoya. This olive tree in the pot had no issues with the winter weather at all. There's Cooper there, lying in the sunshine. And Flame over there, my cats, enjoying the warm weather. Okay, so we'll have a look at my fig tree, which is beginning to wake up. And this is the Domenico Toro. Just love the shape of this tree. And this has got numerous grafted varieties on this tree. So this here, you can see actually the figs starting to, figlets there. You can focus properly. You can see the figlets there beginning to appear. So this is the Spanish black here. You can see the grafting union here starting to disappear actually and merge into the tree. This is a nice thick graft, and we should get a number of figs from this one here. Hopefully, if we don't get a late frost, which will last year killed all my first fruits. So all the Braber crop last year, they were killed from the early frost. There we go, focus there. So that's the Spanish black. We've got a new graft over here, which hopefully will take. This is the Signora. And what I did was I cut away this huge branch over here. So hopefully this will turn into a nice big section of the tree here. So that's the Signora. And we'll move over to here. This is the Smith. And you can see it's starting to wake up out of dormancy. And hopefully we'll get some figs from this variety here. Okay, leaves are starting to open. That's the Smith. And we'll walk over to the other side. Okay, so this one here is the Cadota. And this is where I grafted it. You can see here. It's done really well. It's starting to wake up out of dormancy. And we've actually got some figs appearing on this particular graft there. So really exciting from the Cadota. And then we'll walk around to my Dalmati. This is quite a big graft here, guys. There's the Dalmati. And you can see that it's beginning to wake up out of dormancy. And some figlets are appearing on all of the branches. Quite a few over here. So that's pretty cool. So 5 varieties of figs grafted onto this main Domenico Toro fig tree. Okay, we're going to turn around and I'll show you where once my clementine was. So that beautiful clementine tree I had planted over here basically died from the cold weather. So really, really upsetting. But I've placed my mammoth pineapple guava here in its place, and this will definitely flourish here. It's a very cold hardy tree and produces absolutely delicious sweet pineapple guavas. So that's where my clementine used to be. Now over here past the rosemary we have the yuzu, and as you can see, just like the lemon, we've got a lot of dieback here due to the cold freezing temperatures in December. Big shame here, guys. So that's the yuzu, but it is still alive. I can see if we just zoom in a bit, you can see the green here. Careful I don't spike myself. So that's still alive, and that should hopefully bounce back as the weather warms up. Okay, over here once stood my beautiful Satsuma tree, and as you can see I've had to cut it back. It's basically dead, so I'm actually going to take this out of the ground and put something else here. A real shame, but that's life, guys. That's gardening, isn't it? You get the ups and you get the downs. So over here is a potted pomegranate that'll soon wake up. And over here is a loquat. So this is newly planted. I planted this probably over a month ago. And what stood here before was my lemon Cattleya guava. So you can guess what happened to that. Yep, it's succumbed to the cold weather, unfortunately. But thankfully, I took some seeds, some fruit, and planted some seeds from that particular tree, and have quite a few seedlings from my lemon guava. So at least that tree will live on. But yeah, we have a beautiful loquat tree here, which is a lot more hardier than the guava, and this should do really well here, and should actually help with cross-pollination with my other loquat tree over there, the Roseanne variety, which actually did fruit for me over the winter, but I lost all the fruits again due to the cold weather. Hopefully we'll get some fruit in the not so distant future from this tree. Okay, Let's move on to my mulberry trees. Okay guys, so this is my Pakistan white mulberry, or Shatut mulberry, and you can see here that it's had no problem with the winter weather we've had here with the cold temperatures. It's actually starting to bud out, and I actually was fortunate enough to have some fruit from this tree last year. Let's see if we can focus in. And the fruit were absolutely delicious, really sweet, and had a honeydew flavour to it. So we can see here multiple branches. The buds are starting to swell, and these will leaf out in the coming weeks. So that's the white Pakistan. So these mulberries are longer than the usual mulberries. Absolutely delicious. And then we'll turn over to my black Pakistan, which I've actually put it in the ground. So I know that mulberry trees can grow huge, but I'm going to keep this tree at a manageable height by pruning it every so often. But you can see here that this is starting to bud out. And even below. So really healthy, no problem with the cold weather. And I'm looking forward to getting some black Pakistan mulberries. Sorry, I had to pause the video there. Had a car beeping its horn. But there we go. That's the black Pakistan. And looking forward to seeing this tree develop over the years. There's my pomegranate seedling. I grew this from seed. And we can see, if we look a bit closer, it's starting to wake up. So the leaves will come out in a few weeks' time. Now, there's another sad story. This once stood my bananas, my Musa Helen's hybrid. And obviously, I mean, it survived one cold winter with no problem. But this winter, the last winter, was just way too cold. So we've lost the trunks here. But it should come back. It's actually a sign of this one starting to come back here. So that's okay. It's still hardy at the root, and will come back in the next few weeks. Over here are my beautiful pineapple guavas. This is a large unknown, which gives absolutely deliciously sweet large pineapple guavas. I'm going to give that a little bit of a prune. It's growing quite tall. Lovely trunk there, guys, as you can see. And then we have my smaller Triumph variety pineapple guava, which helps with cross-pollination. Got a few figs in pots here. Spanish black. I'm actually going to sell these because now that I've grafted the Spanish black onto my main Dominico Toro, and I actually have a Spanish black, a large one out the back of the garden, I'm going to sell this one. And then I have a Signora in a pot, which I've also grafted onto the main tree. We've got some figlets there, so that's pretty cool. Actually quite a few figlets, as you can see. And then we have the Oro Blanco, which I think we have maybe a few, yeah, we can see a few figlets here starting to appear. Okay, we'll have a look at my pawpaws, American pawpaws, see if anything's happening in there. Nope, they're still dormant. So this is the Allegheny variety, and hopefully that will start to wake up at some point as the weather warms up. And we have over here the Susquehanna, so still asleep, but should wake up at some point. Now over here is my Nikita's Gift persimmon, another hardy tree. I can't wait to get fruit from this tree. And you can see here that the leaves or the buds are starting to swell. And in the coming weeks, this will leaf out beautiful, large, glossy foliage on the Nikita's Gift persimmon. And apparently this one doesn't grow too large, so that's pretty cool. Got my beautiful olive tree there, guys. Just love this tree. But I'm actually going to give that a heavy prune, because that does block a bit of sunlight into the garden. So we'll give that a bit of a prune back there. Okay, we'll walk over to my jujubes, which are still asleep. You can see they've done so well. Really sharp thorns here, guys. So you have to be aware of these when you have a jujube tree. But this is the unknown variety. And I think it gave me a couple of fruit last year. Nothing to write home about. Hopefully as the tree matures, we'll get larger and much more fruit from this particular jujube tree. And then over here we have the, what's this variety? Well, it's the jujube tree. I'm trying to remember the variety now. The Lang, that's it. And this has grown pretty tall, as you can see, over the fence. And it gave me some lovely fruit last year, some large fruit. And I'm expecting this to really do well this year. So this is the Lang. Beautiful tree. And then over here, let's just move past. Okay, so over here we have the Chocolatino persimmon, which has not given me fruit. In all the years it's been in the ground, I think it's been in the ground about maybe 4 or 5 years. So hopefully this will be the year that it will produce fruit for me. And then over here is my Rojo Brillante persimmon. And if you can remember, I lost a huge portion of the tree from the weight of the fruit from last year, which was a shame. But you can see that it's starting to bud out. As I move closer, starting to bud out. Let's see if we can focus. There you go, guys. So that's the Rojo Brillante. And behind that we have Spanish black fig tree, which gives the most delicious sweet figs. So I'm looking forward to that. We have the bamboo. There's the Roseanne loquat tree here, starting to leaf out. I'm really hoping that it will flower again for me and produce fruit this time. And one more sad story, which we'll have a little walk over. We lost my Ettinger avocado, and that was in the ground for about 4 or 5 years. And again, it was just way too cold. I mean, the temperatures -8 just did it in. So it looks like I've lost that. I mean, I've had to cut it back down to the stump, which you can't see. But yeah, a real shame. But guys, I mean, I would say there's more positives than negatives. I'm really looking forward to this growing season. Can't wait to taste some more persimmons, jujubes, mulberry, figs. Lots going on. Pineapple guavas. So there you go, guys. That's an update on my garden, what's growing on. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate you subscribing. Happy gardening.